Hey everybody, welcome to eTrailer.com. I'm Bobby. Today we're taking a look at the Howlrack's Destination 4 bike rack carrier here, our 2015 Nissan Pathfinder. Now if you guys are looking away at getting a lot of bikes to the Trailhead, well, look no further if you want a great little platform without breaking the bank too much. Take a look at it. It is a little messy, a little busy. You are getting a lot of straps, a lot of contact points, but I think overall, once you start utilizing this guy, you are going to see that those straps and all those points of contact are going to be great for making sure your bikes get to the trailhead without any problems. You are getting 2 straps on each of your wheels, and as you can see, these guys work pretty well. Pretty decent spread here actually on the strips themselves. Can do a pretty good job of your semi-fat tires. Now if you are needing longer ones, of course, you have to pick up an adapter kit for it. However, nice that we actually have a pretty good length here on those strips innately. One thing I really like about these Cradles too, guys, these knobs allow these to be quickly adjusted between these 2 fixed positions. Can be great if you have a shorter bike to bring these guys in, and of course, a longer bike can go more towards those outside of the cradle. The Cradles themselves aren't going to be anything too crazy. You got that nice little 18C groove in the middle and widen out for your bigger tires, of course. Now we are having frame contact as we are utilizing a central Mast post here. Now this guy is folded in its position, and you can see here today of exactly how this guy works. So we are going to have frame contact, which means we can't utilize those carbon frame bikes, unfortunately. So you're probably going to have to look upwards of more sub-premium carriers if you're looking a way of getting those guys to your destination. And with a 35-pound capacity per bike, we should have no trouble at all getting most of our standard and mountain bikes up on here. One thing I am a big fan of this center mount is how versatile it is. As you can see, we have 360 degrees of rotation here available for our cradle. So if you have a horizontal frame post, diagonal, or vertical, or anything in between, you're gonna have no trouble at all of getting your bikes up on this guy, which I think is really the big takeaway from here. This is great for a lot of friends, a lot of family, and a lot of different bikes to get wherever you need to go. Well, to take our bike off isn't going to take any time. We just simply want to come to our strips on our wheels, press in on our lever, like so, and releasing that ratchet system. Now on the inside too, you are going to get a little bit of a rubber piece here to go across your rims, really to make sure that we're not having any kind of scratching or deteriorating those rims in any kind of way. And that brings us to our last strip here on our front tire. One thing I like too on them as well is they do have a little hole for your finger to go through to pull down. That can be great, especially if things are wintry or cold or wet or rainy. That way we're not having to pinch a hard rubber. Nice for the hands, of course. Well, that does bring us to our last contact here. I find it very helpful to get a hand to actually hold the bike and to press in on the lever at once. Allows you to get that strip out without having too much bother and worry about dropping your bike. And of course, that last little bit can always be tricky, especially if you're like us and you got a lot of gear housing right here in this area. However, not going to be too much trouble, as you guys can see. Let's just be sure we are holding on that bike. Don't want it tilting into our vehicle or anywhere else causing any kind of damage. To walk it off, I just simply grab and remove it from the carrier. So pretty little system to use there, pretty easy. One thing to keep in mind when you are loading by yourself, it's not the easiest. When you're actually getting it in this position, can be helpful just to put a strap on a little loosely, just to help hold it there. So if you were to slip, it won't be going too far and you can quickly grab it. But again, not too much trouble there. Now that center mass is a little bit in our way if we want to go ahead and open our hatch. So to bring it down, I just simply want to loosen this knob here on the side. It's going to go ahead and let our lever cam here move out of the way. And then I like to bring this mast down here as well, fitting in our cradles where we can. And one thing I always like to suggest to people, taking this extra strap here and running it through. And this way we can actually hold on to our mast and it won't be moving in this position at all, which is great because now I can come right here and open up our hatch. Now I get access to those bike helmets, coolers, anything I might need in the back here. Now, of course, when you have all 3 of your seats up in the Pathfinder, not too much room, but still nice that we can access that relatively quickly when we're at our destination. Now, one important to mention to keep in mind, though, is going to be our clearance. Now, the Destination does a great job of having that nice little rise in there, as you guys can see. So we shouldn't have too many issues, but let's go ahead and take a look from the ground to the end of our carrier here at one of our wings is putting us at 20.5 inches exactly there. So pretty good spread there, honestly, even though that's being so far from the back of our vehicle. Just keep in mind, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch-mounted accessories. So if we have any steep terrain, we're doing a little off-road in the Pathfinder, let's just be conscious of that clearance. Now let's go ahead and see with how much length we're working with from the rear of our car. From the bumper to the very end is putting us exactly at 40 1/4 inches there to the end of those reflectors. So pretty decent amount of spread there. Keep in mind you are getting 4 bikes on there, so think about 10 inches per bike. That's pretty not too bad if you're asking me. And we do have a way of shortening it down really quick. On the inside here, we are gonna have a little hand knob. All we have to do, remove our retainment clip and start loosening this guy. And it can quickly spin. I actually am a pretty big fan of this knob. It's pretty big, not gonna be causing any discomfort for ourselves. And now I can walk this up. Now we're not gonna go all the way, so there is gonna be a little point to stop it and start reinserting your pin and tightening down this hand knob. Again, very easy to do with how large it is. Shouldn't be causing us any discomfort, even in that cold, wet rain that we might experience on those early mornings. And as you guys can see, shorten down a ton of that length. That is really where all you're getting that length from, of course, is those 4 bikes. Taking a look on the inside here though, you can see that we are at about 6 1/8 there to the inside of our carrier. Pretty decent spread. And from the back of the bumper, of course, to the very end, looks like our wings are gonna be our largest point, or longest I should say, putting us right at 15 1/2 inches there from the rear of our bumper. Not the worst spread you've ever seen. Nice that we can go ahead and collapse this down, get this in the garage, or at least a lot more maneuverability when we want to park this guy. Now in this position, a couple things I always look for is how are our taillights doing to me. Looking pretty good. Not going to be the longest carrier out there, as you guys can see. So in this position, we shouldn't have any issue at all letting people know when we are braking. The only thing I will say, as you get 4 bikes up on here, there's going to be a lot of tire in the way. Nice that we had that 6-inch spread at the very beginning too. That means we're not going to be closing off that light emittance, so people are still going to see where we are, even when we had 4 bikes on this carrier. Moving our way in the inside though, you can see we do have a 2-inch shank here today for our 2-inch hitch. On the inside, you are also going to see what's pretty standard, a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt. Now these guys are great. They bring this all in line to one system, taking a lot of the play out. And as you guys see, as I can shake this guy, it's going to bring this all in line to one system, shaking the entire vehicle. Means we're taking all that play out, all that rattling, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, and especially our bikes. On the inside there too, on the very end of that bolt, you are seeing a locking core there. That can be great to make sure that our carrier stays attached to our vehicle when we leave it unattended. Well, that does kind of bring me to my one caveat with this guy. We don't have a lot of great security measures innately here. So I might recommend taking up a cable lock or bike cable from eTrailer.com. That way we can make sure that we do have this nice and secured to our carrier when we leave it unattended. Again, I don't think you can really beat the bang for your buck you're getting for the destination. If you're wanting a way of getting a lot of friends or family to the trail, this is definitely an excellent option for yourself. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Holiday Rack's Destination 4 bike rack carrier here on our 2015 Nissan Pathfinder. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First, we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.